Well, how about Aidan Hutchinson? It feels weird to say he finally had a breakout game given the fact that he has a 3-sack game already this season, but that game, 3 sacks is 3 sacks. You can't argue with results. You'll always take results if they're there, but there was a bit of flukiness to how those sacks came to be, so there was kind of like, okay, you did this, that's cool, good to have that game, but can you start to just win more consistently in more traditional ways? Well, this game he did exactly that. He was electric in this one. Didn't go great for the Lions as a whole in this game, but you at least have a lot to be excited about with how Hutchinson played. So, the way this play works, it's going to be a one-on-one matchup against a left tackle, and watch what happens. Right when this play begins, you see at this point, so one of the things I like to talk about is that if it's a left tackle, the left arm of the left tackle tends to be a big part of what makes a pass rush be successful or be unsuccessful. Can you get past the left arm? If that tackle can get his left arm on the hand placement that he wants, you'll often be in good shape if you're the Dallas Cowboys here in this situation. But if you can't, then that's how you can get some wins. So for an edge rusher, a lot of times it's about getting that left arm out of position. And Hutchinson, in college was just unbelievably good at getting left hands out of position. This is against Tyler Smith, the first round pick that the Dallas Cowboys have. And watch what Hutchinson is going to do. Really watch Hutchinson's left arm, the arm that's closest to the camera. Watch him go underneath like that, and then he's able to get over, and he gets to Prescott for a sack. I can't remember if they gave him a full sack or a half sack for that one, but just an incredible pass rush move. And again, that technique is what got him to be so successful. A lot of people think, well, you can teach technique, you can't teach talent. Well, to some degree that is true, but A, Hutchinson's an incredibly talented player. Like, the guy's a ridiculously good athlete and doesn't get enough credit for that. But B, a lot of guys don't learn technique that much. These are adults we're talking about here. These are guys that, a lot of times if they, can get better, they would have gotten better by now. Not always. There's always room for improvement, but it's not quite as much as sometimes people think it is. Like, this play's another good example where what's going to happen here, going up against a tight end right here for Dallas. So, okay, you expect him to win, but watch how he does it. So first, you're going to see, since, if they started off as though it could be a running play, you see him starting off as though it's run defense. Now he realizes that it is not the case. It is not run defense. So he's going to basically try to do the exact same move he did last time, get his left arm underneath the tight end's left arm. Watch how he does that. And so the tight end, a little bit more aware though. He's actually blocking this better than Smith did, where he's now kind of trying to push Hutchinson back, right? He has his right arm kind of on Hutchinson's, the left side of his body. That's what he's trying to do here. So Hutchinson reads this as well, and he has a move against that as well. Watch him pull off a spin move and gets to Prescott to knock Prescott to the ground. Didn't quite disrupt the play with his pressure, but came very close. And again, that's what you look for. It's all about consistency. There's so much luck that goes into whether pressure gets a sack or not. Usually something else has to go right for you to get the sack, even if you had a great move. But you're seeing him get wins, and that's the exciting thing, is he's starting to more consistently get wins. He's had some sacks, but it's not just the fact that he's getting sacks, it's the fact that he's getting wins. Like, let's go over here now. So going up against a right tackle this time. So, playing on both sides in this scenario, going up against the tackle is Terrence Steele, who, has graded well this season, but going up one-on-one against Hutchinson, watch what Hutchinson is going to do. Look at how right when this play begins, you see how Steele, kind of sticks his left arm out like that. He's, again, making sure he does not get beat with his right arm, because now that it's flipped and it's the right tackle's right arm that's the one that's important, so he's definitely trying to, protect that side of his body, which makes sense, but again, Hutchinson reads this. Watch this spin move to, again, get over and get the sack on Prescott. I mean, that's just an incredible play. It really is. It's an incredible play. And the fact that he has kind of those two moves already really working well in his arsenal of the rip move on the outside and then the spin move to the inside, that 1-2 punch will get him to be a successful pass rusher. And I mean, already the guy's, looking like he has a chance of being a 10-sack guy. He's well on pace for that in his rookie season. I mean, that's an impressive situation that he has going. And it's not just in the pass rush game. I still feel like his run defense has been very good. Everyone talked about, well, Hutchinson's the better pass rusher, but Walker's the better run defender. Hutchinson was the better run defender in college than Walker was. And over here, Hutchinson is doing nice things in the run defense game. This is going to be another example of it, which, listen, again, Hutchinson haters can say, hey, one-on-one against a tight end, not that impressive. But still, it's not about beating the tight end, because you do expect him to win the rep, but it's about how badly are you going to beat the tight end. The Dallas Cowboys aren't being stupid here by putting a tight end on a defensive lineman. They're saying, no, we're going to run the ball up the middle, so even if you slightly win your matchup, it's not really going to account for too much. However, when this play begins, you see how right here, I mean, really, tight end, he looked like he was trying to cut Hutchinson perhaps, but it really did not work out well. Hutchinson kind of drove him straight to the ground, to where at this point, no one's really on him. As you see, Hutchinson reaches over, he makes the tackle on Prescott, and they are able to stop them before they get to the end zone. So, yeah, I mean, again, good stuff, not just in the pass rushing game, but he was helping in the run defense game as well. And one thing that you also have to like about him is he is continuing to get better. He's, maybe had some missteps this season, but he's continuing to grow and become a better player. And that's what you want to see. You want to see him develop into a better player. One more play I want to talk about, which he actually isn't really going to impact this play too much. Maybe he kind of does a little bit, but it's not a massive one. We're going up one-on-one against Steele here as well, the right tackle for Dallas. Right when this play begins, it's a running play. So he is, again, it's run defense that he is in right here. He's the contain guy. So the last thing he wants is to let Tony Pollard get to the outside. So he's actually doing a pretty good job of it right here, and it's going to get even better. Again, watch him pull off kind of a very similar move to what he's pulling off in the pass rush game of getting his right arm underneath Steele's right arm. Now, for Steele, he's actually doing the right thing here. You could look at this and say, isn't this kind of a hold, with his arm where it is? No, you're allowed to keep your arm there because of the fact that since it was a rip move, you are allowed to keep your arm there. That's how the rule is written. But eventually Hutchinson does get out of it, and he is able to, he still felt like it could have been a hold there. I agreed with the no call. I didn't think it was severe enough. But he was able to get through and get to, be in position where if the run did go in that direction, he was making a tackle. So good stuff by Hutchinson. He's putting, defenders in tough, offensive linemen in tough positions. He's the defender. It's always weird though, because it feels like pass rushing is such like an offensive move, even though it is technically on defense. But it's really good stuff from Hutchinson. He's looking like a really good player, and he's, last week I kind of said, okay, through 3 weeks, through 6 weeks, we've seen Trayvon Walker look like what we thought he would be, which is he can do some nice things, but is ineffective as a pass rusher. We saw Kayvon Thibodeau look like what he can be, which is a bit raw, but can definitely make splash plays. And Hutchinson had been kind of disappointing. He's had some splashes, but was nowhere near as consistent as he was in college. But this game, he felt like the guy from college. It feels like hopefully this is just who he is now, and he's going to go on a tear the rest of the way, because he's electric to watch when he's playing at this level, and we'll see if he continues to play at this level more consistently, which would be very cool to see. But that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Hutchinson and his great performance? Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.